You know, they say you need to smile for the camera. I just let my foot do the talking. I grew up in an era where Bucky Beaver knew I'd pan a toothpaste. Schaefer is the one beer to have when you're having more than one. When I was growing up, I was afraid of men, and I went running to my mother. When it was nap time, I would hear a little tune, Peter, Peter, pancake. A new movie has just come out, and I'm just going to give this a little bit of a 5 minutes because I have to get myself together, put everything together. I do things a lot like Mr. Williams, who put his life to a miserable end. I met the doctor that he played in the movie, Patch Adams. I've been around the most dysfunctional human beings on the planet. And at the moment, nearly closing in on 75, I was born on December 30th, 1948. I still can play at a high level, 4-5, 5-0, tennis, match, can prove it, can do it. Running around with guys that are half my age, a quarter my age, in their 20s, and still keep up with them. I don't know, other than the Lord, how I do it. So many people say, well, it's up to your genes, Logan. Genes, Sean Connery and going to Goldfinger. A recent new movie documentary has come out, and it really disturbs me very much to watch the movie. Because one day in 1987, and I was told and I was warned this would happen when I opened a bookstore in Boca Grande, Florida, amongst the wealthy and the elite. And I was trying so desperately to find my self and self-esteem. Choo Choo Charlie is a friend of mine. One rainy day, right before Christmas of 1987, and then packed up the kids and the family and moved to Beverly. The bookstore was full of people, and it was probably a 750 square foot bookstore that I had built, and I didn't even know how to read. And I was challenged. Logan, how could you open a bookstore if you you didn't go to college? No, I was in a class of 320 in Darien, Connecticut. I was 320. I was number 300. I had to go to Vietnam by getting into the Navy Reserve and, sneaking around, having been in the Navy Reserve, figuring out how to go to boot camp in Chicago, and then going, on a train, gambling with my friends, drinking, before you get, up to what the hell it was. Somebody in the Navy tell me, it'll come to me. After a while, you just compile memory after memory after memory. And then you walk around as the president, and you turn around and you go to shake the hands of strangers strangers in the night that are in your head. I'm sorry, I diversed. I am vicariously a diversified person. And when I speak to many that only live in the linear world, and they're great, just answer the question, sir. You can't handle the truth. I am multiple personality disordered in many ways, but when she walked right up to me with the fullness of my store in Boca Grande, Florida, and the most popular book at the moment was Shell Seekers, and within about 1 foot, I could smell her breath with her eyes. They were really not like you see in the movies. They were really droopy. Do you have the book, Shell Seekers? And my heart started to pound because right in front of me was Katharine Hepburn. And I pretended like this is Katharine Hepburn's going on in my head. I ran across. Everybody in the store knew, and I had plenty of copies. I grabbed it. How much is it? I said, $19.95. I just gotten Radio Shack had just come up with a inventory control system with a book that my book inventory, and I punched it in really quick. Still nervous, still nervous, still nervous, still nervous. It's Christmas time. I've got to wrap this thing for her. And so she writes out in a shaky hand, which I have a copy of that. That's the only thing I have left. And she writes out the check and she says, well, thank you. You don't need to wrap it. I'll take the paper. And out the door she went. And the rumor mongers just in Boca Grande that were trying to make her feel like they were just like her and nobody was nervous. Everybody is that way. I'm going to continue this story to the point where I'm going to be able to go through and watch the movie. From the Houghton family in New York to Old Saybrook, where we played golf. I crossed paths with this woman. She was 79 years old, I believe, when she was in my store. I don't even know the age in which she died. I haven't paid that, But every time I would tell this story, and I wrote to the St. Pete Times, I wrote to the same, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Most of the people in this generation think she's Audrey Hepburn. And, it's amazing to me what you have to do to pass on from one generation to the next generation the respect of those that have gone before them. Well, this is the beginning. I'm just going to ramble on, everybody. Ramble on, ramble on. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get myself a good night's sleep. Mother's Day was yesterday. I celebrated my daughter's birth. Rungle in the Jungle. She's Jessica the Giraffe, Joshua the Jaguar, Timothy the Tiger. The only person that reached out to me from my family was little Timmy the Tiger. A paramedic, a fireman, and just this far from becoming a doctor as a nurse practitioner. He and I can laugh together. We went to see old Big George Foreman. He had no idea who George Foreman really was. I did the whole movie off the top of my head before he even saw it. He said, how is it that you know this, Dad? I go, because I lived it. Because I lived it. You don't have a dad who flies the B-17 Flying Fortress for 35 missions. And then, instead of coming home and drinking pina coladas, which he could have done in St. Petersburg, he signed up because he wanted to fly the P-51 Mustang. And I'll share with you how I know how he went over and out and down in Germany and spent 30 days in the hole. Nobody can describe the real 30 days in the hole. And I even have a younger brother, 2 younger brothers, who think I'm a pathological liar. Well, who did come first, the chicken or the egg? Did I, having been born in 1948, my older sister, who just passed away in November, Robin, who desperately wanted to be heard or at least observed, Robin Scott Rogers Dreyer, passed away in November. And one of her dreams was fulfilled when she happened to have been invited to Lou Reed's funeral. And all the colored girls went, do, 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 do. There I've got a picture of Paul Simon's eyes popping out of his head with the biggest smile because he and Robin met for the first time. And on that day, they were celebrating Lou Reed's funeral. I got that picture. Nobody knows from this generation. A winter's day in a deep. Every song that went on. Homeward bound to I'm just a poor boy, though my story is seldom told. Let us be lovers, we'll marry our fortunes together. I've got some real estate here in my bag. We took the Greyhound all the way from Massachusetts down through San Francisco with a flower in our hands. No, those are not the words. We all went off to see. Does anybody know what Mrs. Wagner's pie is? Oh, to look for America. Does anybody know who Joe DiMaggio is? How about Tom Seaver? I'm just going to go ramble on, ramble on. Anybody picks this up and wants to call me, you're going to have to filter through a bunch of people because I'm getting sick and tired of people who want to be famous. I don't. I'm preaching the gospel of Yeshua HaMashiach, unfolding. When I was a young boy, a little boy, I would say to my dad who built our house, and I didn't even know what an agnostic atheist was, will you build me a church, Daddy? And he never would answer that. Mommy taught Sunday school. Oh, Peter and Billy and Lauren, did you know that in Scarsdale? Oh, you don't really remember Scarsdale that much? A little bit, do you? Maybe you guys, if this is seen and it becomes a Netflix, maybe, give me your answer true. Betty Davis, Lauren. I'm writing a letter to Daddy. You will know these are true stories, honey. I'm not mad. I have to show emotions. Papa, Daddy was furiously angry because he hated what Hitler had done. He never stopped, but he did not know the creator of the universe. He tried at 12 years old. He told me this. Our Father told me this. Our Father in heaven told me this before he took off from this planet because I led him to the Lord in fire. I was made fun of. I was ridiculed. I was made fun of. But I want everybody who's listening to this right now, as I'm doing my Robin Williams, out of control, please just Google December 29, 1975, and sing the song about TWA and get back to me. You're going to cry. Then you're going to cry again. Then you're going to eat bye-bye Miss American Pie. Then we'll give you some real blow-by-blow, minute-by-minute, hour-by-hour alone time that I spent with Kate Hepburn, spelled with a K, and I have a 7-year-old by the name of Kate, and she's been kept from me for over 4 years. I'll show you pictures of how close she was, and little Sophie was born, and I haven't seen my 13.5-year-old granddaughter Zola Rogers, nor Sylvia Rogers. Why? Because Daddy's mean. Bad cop, good cop, COVID, and all of the lies are being exposed. I've been working on the railroad, for it was Mary, plain as any name. Top of the world, Ma! Top of the world! Start to do some trivia pursuit about people like James Cagney. How about on a day like today? Oh, the ventriloquist in me. One girl, one kiss, boom, boom. Bum, 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 bum. How about the boys that went out to Vegas, together, and they were doing all kinds of wild things. And this is all wow. Jimmy Stewart singing Wild Horses. And then, out of nowhere, we're just minding our own business, singing songs like Footsteps, ba-da-ba-da, and songs like, Oh, no, don't let the rain come down. And things like, finger popping time. I got sunshine on a cloudy day. And picking our nose. And she got a nose job. And now she's the prettiest girl in town. And suddenly we're told, oh, this incredible sound. Oh, it's coming all the way, and I'm struggling with trying to learn Spanish. And I want to hold your hand. I want to hold your what? Ew. Yeah, that's kind of creepy. Oh, yeah, but Cousin Brucey's, swinging soiree, and the fifth Beatle, Murray the K, was he? No, he really wasn't. He was the fifth asshole. Was he a little bit like, what's his name, the boss from New Jersey? I'm sorry, everybody has an opinion. I love Bruce, but I met him, and I don't like his politics, and I don't like politics shoved down my throat. Glory days. I like you, Bruce. I like you. I like Mr. Long Island. Catholic girls start much too late. And I literally like Cyndi Lauper. Right? Girl, yeah, but how about out of nowhere you're singing, I want to hold your hand, the Jimmy Stewart type way in which to do it. Or how about, I am. But there's another sound that really got me because it was almost like, well, there was something different about. Well, it wasn't quite Chuck Berry. It wasn't quite. I found my thrill. It wasn't really quite that. It was like something like time, something to do with time, something to do with it's on my side. Yes, it is. And I was look at their albums and they were doing a lot of cover stuff, and I'm like, they're not the same as Beatles. Beatles are really good. Beatles are good. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, we had my good friend Ricky DePola and I were driving down to Portchester, where we would run the tolls, and he's driving his grandfather's big Electra. It was like a Cadillac. It was like a tank, and it was black. And we hear on the radio, he's driving. I went, what is that sound? I'm popping. I was born. No, it wasn't that one. It wasn't that one. It was this one. I can't get no. I went, Rick, pull over. Let's do the get out the jack and jack up the car and jack off to this one. And then from that point on, from that moment on, there was something that hooked me, and I haven't shut up ever since. Logan, we're having a party. No singing. Why, Peter? Because we don't want you to sing. We want to be on the stage. We are the ones that are much smarter than you, and we watched our dad. And you always pissed him off. We watched your dad be the angriest at you and throw you up against a wall and beat you up and use you as, I got a basketball, Jones, things of that nature. And so why is it that the boys didn't like what I liked? One liked something about fire, it take you to come on, baby. I like Jimmy Baby, but I couldn't get this other guy out of my mind, and I began to move like him, walk like him, and every time I got up on the stage that didn't exist in my mind. And in 1969, I was caught in Boston, and Ted Thomas said to me, Logan, whatever you do, this was before Altamont, he said, whatever you do, you must go see the Rolling Stones. You mean the ones that rolled the stone when the stone was rolled out from, and when what was his name, Mr. Dillon, who grew up singing not too far from where we lived, where the Thugs lived, and it was called Greenwich Village. The Stones, who didn't even know Mr. Bob Dylan. I'll never get over when Creighton Drury showed me, hey, Logan, you got to come over here. I was in 1963. You got to listen to this guy. And the answer is blood in the wind. No, that's okay, but I like driving something. It ain't gonna work on Maggie's. Wait, who's better? Who's better? Well, I do like this Dylan guy. But Ted said, you got to, and then suddenly they went on tour right as and after Exile on Main Street was released, and I was told by the radio 4 shows, but you had to get a lottery just to buy a ticket. The tickets are only $18. They came into Manhattan on a flatbed truck, and I go, shit, I can't go, Ted. I have been waiting for all these years. I can't go. But my brother called me the day of the concert. He said, Logan, you still want to go to Brother Billy? You still want to go to the concert? I said, yeah. He goes, my girlfriend can't go, but I'm not going to tell Jim that she can't go. You're going to be my girlfriend. Will you drive? Because they didn't have their license. I was 22, I think. They were still under 18. Well, the drinking age was 18. I don't know. Does it really matter? 1972, do the math. I was born in 1948. So having said all of the above, I go, yeah. We go to pick up Jim Head. He goes, where's your girlfriend? She's not coming. Oh, well, I want my sister. No, Logan's going to go. Logan? Why does he get one of my tickets? Well, he'll give you $18. Yeah, but I won in the lottery. Jim, we got no other transportation. Could you please let my brother go? Whoa, we went. And, we get into Madison Square Garden. If anybody's been there, I went to a circus there once in the original one where the Yankee Stadium was, before the one that is presently there was built. Hey, is this being filmed? Anyhow, I found myself sitting there, and then somebody got on stage. His name was Stevie Wonder. And he started doing all of his superstition. He was trying to change his genre, and people weren't accepting him to change. Stevie Wonder was going from finger poppin' time. We called him a little Stevie Wonder in 1963. I don't know how old he was. You guys can all do the math to prove I'm right or wrong, or whether or not I should be Baker acted, or Baker Beans, or what happens to the musical fruit when all of a sudden it, okay, everybody's, what a great concert. Yeah, Dick Cavett in the back there trying to be cool, and, he's interviewing Mick. And Mick, listen, he comes from a not musical background. I didn't know that he, as a family, because his dad was and is still, I don't know if he's alive, but this is what made Mick is probably one of the best dads on the planet. Being a womanizer, but he's a good father. Ask him. Look at him. Don't go up to him. Just look him up. Admire the man, not just for what he's accomplished on the stage, but out of nowhere I hear, ladies and gentlemen, and they didn't have the sophisticated stuff that they have today. It's just, you could feel the rumble. I'm like, where are they coming from? The lights hit and Gold Coast, shipping avocado and fields, sold in the market town of New Orleans. I don't have he's doing all right. He used to hit the women just around midnight. And this is politically incorrect. Boom! And off it went. And for 2.5 hours, nobody sat down. There were 20,000 people. I went, holy, holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty, who was and is to come. And then, out of nowhere, behind me, the most incredibly good-looking girl sneaks up. I'm 18 rows from the stage. If in my athletic ability I'd run down, I could have jumped on the stage. But, I don't want to do that. I know what it's like to be a musician. I don't want people in my face. I am a musician. Having said that, you know who's too quick is, right from, John Fogerty and the, Creedence Clearwater. I gave him a ride, and the minute that he got my Lyft, Uber, I had to take him across town to Lakewood Ranch. I locked him in and I wouldn't let him out. And he loved the ride because all we talked about was music and how he had auditioned. It was he's Stu Cook. Look, him, one of the best in the world bass players. And when Bill Wyman decided he didn't want to do this anymore, they put on auditions, and Stu was one of them from Creedence Clearwater. I said one of the things I said, listen, you guys ever going to get along and stop, suing one another? He looked at me, he goes, life is too short. In other words, don't argue. Groups are like families times 1,000. Having said that, that's where my singing career began, and I tried to do the soft shoe dance with my daddy. He didn't like rock and roll at all. It was classical music, or there's the door and there's the highway. So whenever I had to go anywhere with him in the car, it was silence is golden. So as an introvert, I just buried all my emotions. Got out of high school in 1968 because I was supposed to get out in 67. Actually, they put me in way too soon. I should have I've been an accelerated genius like everybody else in this world. I would have been out in 66. But I learned things backwards, and I'm back. And that's it to let you know I can really shake him down. Ba, 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 do you love me? I'll continue this later. Bye-bye. Call the doctors, please, and get me on Prozac. Thank you. All you 12-steppers, especially Jimmy Carbon. Will you shove this stuff up where the sun don't shine? I'm so sick and tired of being told what I should take. I saw my mommy from 78 to 1983 before she passed away. They put her on things. She was like a zombie. My mommy. I viscerally hate the pharmaceutical because the root is pharmaca and it's in business and in bed with the medical profession. And they put diapers on everybody's faces. And now we are coming forth because according to Psalm 2, the Lord sits on his throne and laughs. Later, bye-bye. Good. 26 minutes, baby. Baby. Turn off. Ooh, come on. Wow, this is wild. Do the Lord still want me to do more? No, come on. I want to shut this down. Shut her down. 26, 28, 29. Shut down.